Hello friends, this is Piyush Malpure, lecturer in English. We are going to learn the subject communication skills, and in that subject today I am going to cover a topic on verbal communication. So let us see what is verbal communication. Verbal, the word itself is made up of the word verb. Verb broadly suggests the usage of words. Verbal communication refers to the usage of words in the communication. Verbal communication refers to the form of communication in which message is transmitted verbally. Communication is done by word of mouth and a piece of writing. Objective of every communication is to have people understand what we are trying to convey. In verbal communication, remember the matter should be short and simple. When we talk to others, we assume that the others understand what we are saying because we know what we are saying. But this is not the case. Usually, people bring their own attitude, perception, emotions, and thoughts about the topic and hence create barriers in delivering the right meaning. So, in order to deliver the right message, you must put yourself on the other side of the table and think from your receiver's point of view. Would he understand the message? How it would sound on the other side of the table? Verbal communication further is divided into two types of communications. One is oral communication and the other is written communication. So, in oral communication, we use words to communicate, and in written communication also, we use words to write. So, these are the two types of verbal communication. So, let us see first of all oral communication. Oral, the word oral suggests that this type of communication is related to our mouth. In oral communication, spoken words are used. It includes face to face communication, face to face conversation, speech, telephonic conversation, video, radio, television, voice over internet, etc. In oral communication, communication is influenced by pitch, volume, speed, and clarity of speaking. There are some advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. So, let us see some advantages of oral communication. It brings quick feedback. The very first advantage is the oral communication brings quick feedback because most of the times it happens face to face. The second advantage of the oral communication is in a face to face conversation, by reading facial expressions and our body language, one can guess whether he or she should be trusted or not, and guess whether he or she should trust what is being said or not. And as we have seen the advantages of oral communication, there are some disadvantages also of the oral communication. So, let us see some disadvantages. There is no formal record of transaction. So, we cannot put a formal record of the oral communication. Second is, if the verbal message is passed passed on along the hierarchical chain of command, then some distortions can occur during the process. So we know we usually played this game in our childhood that we used to say something on the last bench on in the ear of the last bencher, and he used to pass that message to the first bencher, and we also noticed some distortions in that message. The next disadvantage of the oral communication is lengthy and distant communication cannot be effectively conveyed verbally. So, if the sender wants to convey the lengthy messages, so he cannot convey that lengthy message in one go. The last uh, disadvantage is spontaneous responses may not be carefully thought about. So, in oral communication, there happens a spontaneous response. So, this is the disadvantage of oral communication. Hope you understand oral communication. Now, we move towards written communication. So, what is written communication? We'll see in the next video. Hello, friends. Now we will see written communication. In written communication, written signs or symbols are used to communicate. A written message may be printed or handwritten. In written communication, message can be transmitted via email, report, memo, letter, etc. Message in written communication is influenced by the vocabulary and grammar used, writing style, precision, and clarity of the language used. Written communication is most common form of communication being used in business. So it is considered core among business skills. Written communication most of the times occurs at formal occasions. So this is called as business communication. Memos, reports, bulletins, job descriptions, employee manuals, and electronic mail, we called it as email, are the types of written communication used for the internal communication. For communicating with external environment in writing, electronic mail, that is email, internet websites, letters, proposals, telegrams, faxes, postcards, contracts, advertisements, brochures, and news releases are used. Now, written communication most of the times occurs at the formal occasions. So, there are some advantages and disadvantages of written communication. So, first of all, let us look at the advantages of written communication. Advantages of written communication. This includes first, message can be edited and revised many times before it is actually sent. So the very first advantage is before sending a message to the receiver, we can edit that message several times so that we can convey proper message to the receiver. So this is the most convenient benefit of the written communication. The next advantage of written communication is written communication provides a record of every message sent and can be saved for later study. Written message enables receiver to fully understand it and send appropriate feedback. So this is also the very most important thing about written communication, that receiver also fully takes his own time to read the message and interpret that message and give a proper feedback to the sender. So we have seen the advantages of written communication. Now we'll see disadvantages of written communication. So the very first disadvantage of written communication is, unlike the oral communication, written communication doesn't bring instant feedback. We have seen that in oral communication, feedback is quick, but in written communication, we don't receive instant feedback. So, this is the disadvantage of written communication. Next is, it takes more time in composing a written message as compared to word of mouth, and a number of people struggle for writing ability. So, the second disadvantage of written communication is it takes more time in composing the message. And the another disadvantage is people, most of the people are not good at writing skills. So they make lots of mistakes in writing, and proper message is not conveyed to the receiver. So this is the disadvantage of written communication. So in the next lecture we will see non-verbal communication. Till then, thank you.